Thanks for joining me here in the frozen north where the mercury has plummeted well into the negatives. I thought it'd be a fine time to have the very first fire inside the old homestead, get the wood heat engaged, and rather than just wandering over to the great pile of firewood, I thought it'd be more fun to get the old axe and chainsaw out and venture into the woods and get ourselves a couple wheelbarrows from scratch. Get that sense of satisfaction. There's just something about being in the woods, you know? It just makes a guy smile. Oh, that's slippery. Ah, perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for right here. Beautiful. This was a gigantic spruce tree that fell. Last year we salvaged the gigantic top half, used it to heat our home, and left this portion behind. Plumb ran out of time, I think is what happened. But why let it go to waste? See, I treat firewood sometimes like you would maybe a savings account, okay? Because here, firewood, if you remember that pile actually there, that is the famous great pile of firewood. There's a great video on it. But that's like the savings, right? That's like your retirement account back there. And that old dry spruce down there, well, that's the free market where a man could head out, forge his way, and get a little further ahead rather than dipping into the savings account. So, well, and plus you get to play with the chainsaw, so there's no downside. Of course, the snow's not that deep, so you can see the grass where I've plowed here still. The old steel MS-291. I've been real happy with this saw, actually. It's a good size, a decent choice. Let's get it flashed up and cut something down. All right, let's get a good look at this thing here. See what we got going on. We got a few hazards around the bottom. I'll get those out of the way. What about this thing? What about this little guy? I don't think this is gonna grow up to be too much. Ah, rookie mistake. Shook the dang tree right there. Ah! Oh, that's so cold. Why would you do that? What is this, your first day in the woods? Oh, I dropped the microphone. I can't even believe I just did that. Without hesitation, grabbed the tree, shook it, filled my own jacket full of snow. I'll tell you. Amateur hour out here. You can see what we're dealing with. Busted and sheared right off, right up in there. Yeah. Like a heck of a bit of firewood. As long as it's not total mush inside, but either way it needs to be cleaned up. So I don't mind having a peek. It helps the whole program. Cleans up the fuel here in the forest. Gets it inside where it's useful to heat the house. And I don't have to trip over it. All right, what's the old steel got for us in store? It was inside the heated garage actually, so it shouldn't be too problematic. I got some stuff stuck in there. I don't want to drop my glove in the snow either. Nothing worse than cold hands. Oh, that wants to go. Come on. What do I like to say? Don't matter if it starts on the first pole, as long as it starts. pretty soft coming out of there. Just dust like that. It was full of pine cones too. Squirrels filled it full. Man, I'll tell you, pretty nice job though on the lineup for the cut. Look at that, perfect match. Got a little wild right there, but I salvaged it. Perfect lineup there. But there is nothing in the middle of this. I actually don't know how much firewood is going to come out of this dang thing. You can definitely see why it twisted and broke off. So let's get it on the ground and then we can investigate a little further. Might not be full of a lot of firewood, but interesting nevertheless. You never know what kind of mystery you're going to find in the forest. Clean that out. It's certainly not going to be the firewood bounty we were hoping for. Just look at the mess old Mother Nature made out of this beast. That was all that was holding that tree up. You know? It really gets you thinking. You're walking through the woods, going for a snowshoe or hunting or something like that, and you walk by a big tree. This tree looked fine from the outside if you didn't touch it or get near it. It just looked like a big old spruce tree. And it is literally hanging on by a thread. Here, one windstorm, bump, shift of the earth away from, down she goes. And something obviously had been making a condo out of it, full of pine cones. See all the bore holes too, insects getting in there. Yeah, fascinating. It's light as a feather. That's like, it doesn't even feel like wood anymore. It's just dust. But I'd say that we'll buck her up, or at least see what's going on in here. Certainly not the sexiest bit of wood I've ever seen. But you made a mess, you might as well clean it up. There we go. Well, it's about the last piece that I'm willing to take off of this thing. The rest of this, well, except for that, that's a good piece. Well, we'll let nature have at it. This will be gone into nothing. And it doesn't pose any fire risk anymore or whatnot. I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, oh, but the squirrel habitat. Trust me, I don't want no squirrels living here anyways. Tree rats, all they do is wreck stuff. There's one. Might be rotten on the inside, doesn't mean it's not heavy. Oh, that's real heavy. Holy moly. That's full capacity. That's about all I'm strong enough to wheel in one trip. I'll have to make more than one trip. How about that? A little bit of dry kindling too. That I probably will steal out of the old firewood pile. I have some Trimans, lumber Trimans, makes excellent kindling. We'll head up. Okay. Axe. I don't think I forgot anything down there. In case anybody was worried that we left any firewood behind. Well, of course we didn't. No firewood left behind. Stacked it up. Just more than one load. Whose idea was it to use a wheelbarrow? When did tractors go out of style? Oh. Wheelbarrow's more authentic. Back to your roots this way. Load number 2. Pretty dense, this outer ring. Of course, it didn't go rotten because protected by the bark and a little bit tougher, I guess, or something. Or I made that up. That also could be true. We got that. I think we can get the fuel on there. Ugh. I think we can get the fuel on there. Oh dang, I bet we could get the saw on there too. We left the case back here. Try and get her all in one go here. We are running out of daylight. Swiftly. Huh. Something like that. They make excellent kindling to start the fire. You can't burn them full time because, you know, there's no heat value in them. They're kiln dried. They basically burn into nothing in no time, but they split easy and they start well. Back in the warmth of the garage. Nice. A little bit of kindling to start. Thinner the better. A couple bigger chunks. For once it gets going. And then move straight into some of this. I can tell this stuff is gonna be messy. All right, that ought to get us somewhere. Being this is the first fire up of the season, the guy wants to do a little maintenance here. Now I will point out, oh look at this. I'm excited about this. Fire accessory kit. You got a scoop, some tongs, a brush, a poker. My wife got these at a garage sale. I didn't have these before. Clean out this firebox of hair from last year. I will say, don't use a plastic bucket doing this. I'm using a plastic bucket because obviously I know that the fire has not been lit since last year, but there has definitely been folks get themselves into a lot of trouble using a plastic bucket, scooping hot coals. You don't want to take all the ash out. You want a little bit in the bottom, protect the bottom of the furnace, the fire brick. But it can get away on a guy. Way too much in there. This is an HMF 150 made by Continental. And it has been, oh, there goes the plastic up. It's been awesome. There is an ash tray under here. It doesn't have that much in it. We'll leave that for now. Save me a trip going outside. It's cold. Ugh. I gotta clean the chimney next week. I got a set of chimney brushes on order. They just haven't arrived yet. All right, we're all set. Get rid of this. Oh, and don't just chuck these ashes. We keep them. We spread them around our lilac trees or anywhere where you're trying to remediate some soil. It's a good resource to hang on to. Dropping it as I go here. All right, I got all my kindling. Newspaper makes the best fire starter, but we got what we got. Canadian Tire flyers. They're actually horrible. They don't burn that well at all. Not all paper is the same. If you notice my wardrobe change and you're wondering why does that grown man look like he's wearing a pair of black leotards? Well, the view counts are down. I see a lot of channels putting yoga pants in their thumbnails, so thought I could see what I would do about that. Either that or it was just too hot when I got in the house and I'm just wearing my long johns now. That's probably more likely. Oh, nothing like the first fire, you know? Oh, that's a little big. Something about that wood heat. It doesn't matter how cold it is outside, you got yourself nice warmth inside. I like to do the stack method. You know, some guys like to do the teepee, the lean method. I like to do a crisscross stack, like a cordwood type of thing. Let's get going. Long johns. You know what I'm talking about? Long johns, like a base layer. That's what I've been taught to call them, long johns. Oh, pull the damper out. Did I forget anything else? Yeah, long johns. Long underwear, base layer thermal underwear. I like to keep that shut a hair, just so we don't get the smoke pumping out. Lots of different names, I'm sure, for the same thing. Never, depends where you're from, I guess. See that smoke sneaking out there? Get out of here. Well, she may very well have been a little bit on the rotten side, but nothing the old wood furnace won't eat. Just remember, as I always say, some firewood's better than no firewood. Thanks for joining me. Hope you stay warm, and if you're not staying warm, try and have a little fun getting firewood to get warm. I'll catch you on the next adventure.